Thank you for tuning in to the Turtle Optimist Podcast. Today, we're going to be speaking with Maggie about dog agility. So before we begin, Maggie, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure. My name is Maggie Schooler, and I'm a dog agility addict. I changed my life once I started doing dog agility. I started about 20 years ago and just absolutely love it. So I'm excited to talk about it with everyone today.
Good. I'm very excited because I actually have four doodles, and I always think like I should really do something with them to help get rid of some of their energy, etc. So I'm here to learn. So what sparked your initial interest in dog agility, and like at what point did you think you could turn your hobby into something more?
I had, it was about 20 years ago, a little Maltese named Gus, and he was super smart. And I just, everything I taught him, he learned, and he was always like looking at me for more. And I couldn't figure out how to kind of make his life more fulfilling.
Hmm.
And so I just started taking agility classes and locally. And I mean, it was the highlight of my week. And I absolutely loved those classes. And then we started competing and we were very successful. And I just loved it. And that's where I started.
Wow, wow. That sounds really exciting because I think, sometimes we don't know what we're going to do, but then all of a sudden it's like we find our niche. And so it
It,
sounds like that's
exactly. And
what you've done.
I had so much fun with my own dogs and playing with my own dogs and competing with my own dogs. And I didn't know that I could actually translate that into a business or that I
Hmm.
could work with other people's dogs like I did my own. And so it was actually the pandemic that helped me make this change and kind of knocked me out of my comfort zone and got me training little classes around town because all the facilities had closed. So I started training in fields and I rented somebody's backyard and I realized, oh, I can work with other dogs and people. And so that made me kind of shift all my energy in agility towards a business perspective.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Um, so for listeners who may not be familiar, can you briefly explain about dog agility, what it entails, and what makes it such a rewarding activity for the dogs and their handlers?
Absolutely. So agility is an obstacle course, and a lot of people have seen it on TV. There are different shows that will show dog agility. The dogs have to go over like different obstacles, and they jump on jumps, and they do weave poles, and they jump through tunnels, and just race around. And all dogs just love it. They have so much fun, and I think what makes it the most wonderful thing is the communication that you end up with between you and an animal. And I've always had animals, lots of dogs and cats and birds and fish and turtles and everything. But until I started working with Gus and Agility, I didn't realize how you could really read each other's minds. And when you're out there on the course and you're trying to get them to go do something and they realize, hey, this is a race and I've got to do it fast and mom's telling me to go over there. And when that works, it's like magic
Mhm.
and it just feels great. And so, that's dog agility. And you can, be at the top level and be competing internationally, or you can have your one-eyed pug out there doing tunnels. It's just between you and your animal, that connection.
Hmm. Hmm. That's beautiful. That is. I know that I don't do dog agility with my dogs, but it is really nice when you do something like some type of a course or some type of a game and they get it and they're
Yes.
excited and I'm excited. And so I can only
Yes.
imagine what it's like actually doing dog agility in races. um,
Exactly.
yeah. What were some of the first steps you took when you decided to turn your passion for agility into a business? And were there any specific certifications or training programs or research that you undertook?
When I was training my Maltese and then my poodles, my goal was to be on world team, and so to reach the very highest level of agility in the country. And so in order to do that, I took a lot of different. I traveled, flew all over the country, and worked with all the top trainers, and kind of took a lot of their tips and watched how they were doing it and brought that back. And so there is no certification, there's no formal training or anything, but I kind of trained myself so that I would have the skills to succeed with my own dogs. And then when I decided to start training other dogs, I had a lot of experience working with all these different people. So I was able to pull on that and bring that out in my classes. And dog agility is funny because I have a lady that works with us right now. She's a client. She's 90, and she has a Papillon. Most of the people who do agility are over 50. And they're women.
Oh, wow.
And so you have the young, hot, 18-year-olds that run all over the place and are on the podium a lot. But most of the people that do agility do it with AKC, the American Kennel Club, and they do, and it's retired women. And it's a big social event. And so retired women are not out there running their asses off, we're training our dogs to go run, and then we're orchestrating it around.
Right.
So learning the different ways of training dogs and people to hit whatever kind of success they were looking for, whether it's high level or let's have fun with my Papillon, that's really was my focus, to be able to adjust my training for everyone.
And it sounds like the people who are involved, it's a lot of, I would say, social, mental, physical. So if you're retired or nearing retirement and you want to keep moving, it sounds like a really great opportunity.
It's absolutely, I don't think there's anything that could be better, especially for people who love dogs, because you socially, and it's one of the most rewarding things out here is seeing people get together and just really have these bonds, and they go out to lunch and stuff together now. But the social aspect of it, physical, you do have to get yourself around a course, so you do have to be somewhat physically active, and mental, so you get a map that shows you what the course is, and you just have a short period of time to memorize that map, and then you go out there and you show the dog how to do it. And so to be able to do that, and also emotionally, because a lot of people get embarrassed. Am I going to be able to do it? Does my butt look too big? They have all this stuff in their head when they've got a little dog there that they've got to get around. So it's very challenging and real exciting. And it's the perfect thing, especially for people that are retired, have time on their hands, because the dog agility is a lot of training. It's the most significant amount of training of any of the dog sports.
So just because I don't know, so you get a map, and then do you as the handler get to go out on the course and see how you're going to do it? Okay. And do the dogs get a practice, a trial?
No.
Or
no.
Wow. Okay.
No, so you get the map, and then you have 8 minutes to go out there and walk the course and figure out how you're going to handle it and how you're going to get the dog around it. And then you bring the dog out. And when the dog comes out, they've never seen it before. So they've just got to follow whatever you show them. So it's really exciting. It's a lot of fun, but it's very challenging.
It sounds like it. Wow. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced early on, as you were building the business that you have, and how did you overcome those challenges?
I think I come from a business background, so I was a sales executive for many years, and I built my whole job was doing business cases and all. So setting up the business itself was not too much of a challenge for me, because that's what I did. I see a lot of people who are not successful in this business. Don't have the business experience, so they don't know how much money to put back in the business, or how to tell if they're making money, or how to keep the lights on or refresh or all of that. So I had all of that, but what ended up happening is I got so big so fast. It was a little overwhelming. And this is like my retirement job. It's not I mean, I did quit my job when I was 58 years old. I'd worked at Sprint T-Mobile for 32 years, sold my
Mhm.
house that I'd been living in for 45 years to buy this property, to do this. So it was like jumping off a cliff. But from a financial perspective, I knew because of my business case and the clients I already had, I was going to be okay. But I came in with the mindset the bigger was better, and I grew it too big. And
Mhm.
so then I just had to kind of calm it down and don't be the sales girl, but be just the retired person enjoying life and having fun out here. So bringing other trainers in now, I don't, it's funny because I still do dog agility. I still love dog agility. I do a little bit of training, but I have 4 trainers out here that train most of the classes. And so I do like backup training now. If somebody's not there, then I come in and train for them. So I've shifted my priorities as the business, and I've only been open for, I'm going on 4 years. So
Mm.
so that's been a challenge, just kind of shifting my mindset. And right now, I spend a lot of time with a chainsaw because I've got a lot of grounds and I make walk paths for people and stuff. And so, I need to, I don't know, keep it fresh,
Mhm.
and so, but I think from what I hear, that's the big thing. Can you do your own taxes? Do you understand how to do payroll? Can you, all of those things I enjoy, and and I've done before. So
Mhm.
just keeping it to where I'm not working my butt off has been my goal now.
Right. 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 Yeah. And I think that that speaks to your experience as a business person too, while you
Exactly.
were working, because um, you're growing while others are closing. And so really hats off to you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
What types of services do you offer at Happy Dog Sports? And I mean, like, do you have beginner classes, advanced training, private lessons, competition preparation? What do you do?
Yeah, we have a little bit of everything. Like I said, when I first opened, we had everything. And then I've just kind of squished it all down. So right now we've got scent work, which is a super fun sport and activity that anybody can do with any dog. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking agility, that sounds kind of scary to me. Starting with scent work, the dogs absolutely love it. It's not difficult to do, and that's a lot of fun. So we have scent work out here, and then we do have beginning agility. We've got all the way up to if you want to compete on world team, and we do private lessons. And like I said, I've got 4 agility trainers right now and 1 scent work trainer. And then I barter with a lot of people, which is nice. So people that can't afford or don't really have the finances to do all of this, because it can be expensive, clean the restrooms and decorate the place, and and help me do all of these things. So I've always got an option to barter with people, as well. um, yeah,
That's
but
nice.
that's we offer just about everything, but mostly, AKC focused agility.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow, that's really nice that you offer bartering, because I know that, if you think about people who have enough money to pay for it, but then those who don't, but they still want to get involved, that's really nice that you offer that.
Exactly. And I also keep my prices low. I'm the lowest priced person around of all the facilities. And it's just because, I mean, I could charge more, but there's no reason to. My
Hmm.
trainers are getting enough money, and people are paying for the value that they've got. And so, it's like I keep looking at it, and it's like the prices keep going up. And it's like, they don't necessarily need to keep going up, so.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's a
Yeah.
very much shows a change in me from the previous sales girl.
Hmm. Definitely. What are some common misconceptions people have about dog agility?
I think one of the biggest is going to be that you have to be able to run in order to
Mm.
do dog agility. Because a lot of when you watch it on TV, it's people running all over the place. And you really don't have to. You can train a dog to do just about anything. And training a dog to go work away from you and go do that tunnel, so you can come over here. So I think that's really the biggest misconception. Also, for some people, they might think it's going to be easier than it is to train the dog. It's a lot of training. You've got a dog's on equipment and they can be injured. And so you need to make sure you have a responsible trainer that does all the steps ahead of time to make sure that they're not just running dogs over equipment or sending a dog over a jump without making sure that the dog has good hips and can take that jump safely, you know. So there's a lot that goes into it kind of behind the scenes. It usually takes about 2 years of training to get a dog ready to do agility. So you can see the investment, and you have to be able to, I think, find the joy in training. Some dogs don't ever get to compete. You know, dogs don't have very long lives. And so there are a lot of dogs. A lot of people will bring dogs out here that are 8, 9 years old. They're their dog. They want to do something new with them. And we jump them really low. We teach them to do agility. This is what they do, is this fun. And so, but I think that's a big misconception. And yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's really important to kind of set expectations, because people can go into things and they don't really understand what it entails.
Exactly. And we have people that come in and they've like done like a class at a little local place, and they say, oh, my dog's already trained. And it's like, oh, no, your dog is not already trained.
No.
And for me, it's safety is the number one thing. You know, I'm not going to hurt that dog. I'm going to make sure that the dog is safe. And then the next thing is fun. You know, the dog needs to have fun and the person needs to have fun. This is our, you know, our hobby. This is what we do for fun. And so, you know, some people take it a little too seriously or revert to some old fashioned dog training, you know, where you punish the dog instead of always encourage, and which I don't do. We always encourage.
Good. What are some of the most rewarding experiences you've had while running your dog agility business? And do you have any memorable success stories from any of your clients?
You know, the best stuff is the small things that, you know, people come out and they'll have a very fearful dog that is afraid of other people and dogs and all. And then to get that dog running agility with a big smile on its face and having a good time is just huge, you know. So, and for me, it's helping people kind of and seeing a shift in their perspective from I have to have the ribbon or I need to be on the podium in order to be successful to, oh, we had a great part out there. You know, my dog did it. They did the weave falls, you know, instead of having it something that's really outside of your control, really enjoying the inside part. So I think I've helped shift that perspective. I think this place, Happy Dog Sports, with the trainers we have here and the kind of the culture we've built has really helped with that. And so it's less of a competition and more of a fun. And so I really see that happening. And then I also see a lot of ladies that maybe didn't have a lot of friends outside of here, and they've met friends in their class. Now they're going to lunch and they're going to do things together, and they're coming to potlucks, and it's just a nice community. And when I see people like laughing and hugging and their dogs are happy, and it's like, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, that's it.
Right. Especially when you think about work, and you usually make friends at work, and then if you retire, it's like then it's completely different, and you're alone unless you meet up with people again. So that's really great.
Absolutely. That's exactly right. And when you do dog agility, not only do you have a class, you know, and a lot of times you'll have a class. If you come into dog agility, you're in a beginning class. So you're there with all beginners, right? And then you kind of grow up together as your dog gets better. And then you start competing together. And so by the time you're a couple of years in with these people, you're good friends. And you spend the weekends together. Sometimes you travel together because competitions aren't necessarily in your area. You might be traveling away. And so you go on adventures. And it's a beautiful way to retire.
It sounds like it. Yeah. For someone who's interested in getting started in dog agility with their own dog, what advice would you have for them finding a reputable trainer or facility? What should they be looking for?
You really want a positive trainer. So you want a trainer that's going to be really positive and happy. You know, it should be fun. And if it's not, you take a dog into an environment that's pressure and you're under pressure, you're not going to have fun. You're going to shut the dog down. It's not going to work, right? So that would be my number one thing. Even if you have somebody that doesn't have a whole lot of experience, as long as it's safe and it's fun, that would be the most important. You could go to the AKC website and look at agility events and find an event in your area and go to it. And that's where a lot of people find who the trainers are, because they go to an event and they start talking to people. Who do you train with? And you can also look up, in your area, but then you're not really going to be sure of what you're finding, right? So you have to shop around a little bit. And I shopped around a little bit with my first dog. So I went to training that I was like, this doesn't seem right to me. And so I just kept shopping around till I found a trainer that I really enjoyed. And so you just have to kind of reach out. If you live close to a big city or a big community, chances are you've got some agility and some agility options going on. Even if it's cold, like Denver has a lot of indoor. The East Coast has a huge agility community where they're indoors. So, you can find it. If you're out in the country, sometimes it's a little, or you might have to drive an hour to get to class. And a lot of people, it's an addiction. So once you get doing it, it's like, I'll drive an hour. When I trained my second poodle, I drove 5 hours round trip to train him in Houston.
Oh, wow.
So I would drive 2.5 hours to class and 2.5 hours back, because I knew that trainer Flash Paws in Houston was the best that I had ever seen when I watched her train. So I was like, I'm going to go learn how she does it. And so, it's an addiction. So be careful.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah.
Where can listeners find out more information about your business and connect with you online?
They can go to happydogsports.com. That gives a kind of an overview of our program that we have here. We're located in Leandra, Texas. But our head trainer, Courtney Moore, she travels around the country and does workshops and seminars. So if you want to host something in your area, be sure, reach out to us, and we can for sure have Courtney come in. And we also have dog fitness. I haven't talked about that, but that's a huge thing. And it's kind of growing around the country right now. And we have a dedicated trainer that does it here. And dogs love it. So if you can find dog fitness in your area, that's a super fun thing to do. So they do push-ups and they get on equipment and they sidestep and it's a lot of fun. And the dogs, like I said, my dogs like it almost as much as agility. So that would be something I would look for as well. And you can see that on my website. We have some information about that. And also we have dock diving, in the summertime. So, so you can find info there, but I'd also encourage you to go to AKC, largest agility program in the world. And they do it really well. And so you can get a lot of good information from there.
Well, thank you, Maggie. I really appreciate you explaining all of this. It makes me excited to go to your website and check it out to learn more about what's close in my area. So this has been a great conversation, and I just want to thank you for dropping by the Turtle Optimist Podcast.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. It was great to see you, Jenni. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.